let's talk about this. Fornication is not a sin.
Is fornication really a sin? Where in the Bible did it say? We need to question stuff. I would say hypocrisy. If you know that you're a dark-minded, evil monster,
embrace it.
Own it. Wear it as a badge.
Like, say too much.
We don't need to flog the horse.
You don't need, like, see, they already know, like, yeah.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Falz the Bahd Guy in the building. Woo.
What up?
Welcome. Welcome. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
Not only, okay, I'm going to run the accolades.
Okay.
Right. He's a lawyer.
Okay.
He's an actor. He's an activist. And above all, he's a musician.
And you think people don't already know all this?
Who's been in the game
for
over 10 years, since 2011.
When it comes to Falz, the immensity of everything that it represents, it's not something that you have to tell people. People see it clearly, and that's one of the reasons why they rock with him that much. Just say the name Falz the Bahd Guy says everything that you need to know about him, because man, big ups to you, bro.
Big ups to you, for real. And Falz the Bahd Guy, I feel like that's just one of the personas. That's like the leading persona. But there's so many different aspects to you as a musician and you as a person that obviously shines across within the music, within entertainment as a whole.
Yeah.
We've seen Bob Daddy.
Yeah.
Bob Daddy was a vibe. And now we're in a completely new era. Congratulations on the release of your 6th studio album, The Feast.
Yes.
Yes, huge congratulations.
We brought the plates, we brought that into the studio.
Yeah. We wanted you to feel like, we're on brand.
But that is a good, I'm going to ask you a good question now. A very good question. What is going to be on the plate?
Okay. That's a very valid question.
Let's throw that to Skills.
No, like, why are you throwing it out?
Throw you
me?
under the bus.
Like, why you? I'm like,
I ain't falling under the bus.
Oh my God. I thought we were a team. Like, oh my.
Good team help.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Before you get help, Falz, she'll be like, this is the dream team. This is, the radio besties. And now Falz is asking what's going to be on the plate, and then you're throwing me under the bus.
Typical Nigerian woman.
I think a good comeback for you guys would have been, it's a studio. You can't have food in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why.
Because of the equipment and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not even going through that route. I'm attacking her. She threw me under the bus.
That's actually why.
Man, but let's dig in the feast, man. First and foremost, why that name, for the album, yeah.
For me, largely because it's a feast of so many different genres, so many different styles of music. But also it's a feast of so many different versions of Falz. There's a lot of conscious music on there. There's this sweet, delicious love song. There's a song that gets you going, and there's stuff about my life as a whole. So it's so many different themes and directions, and I couldn't think of a more fitting word than a feast.
Awesome.
I feel like that makes sense. Just like we said, there's been so many different eras of Falz the Bahd Guy, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like there's a lot of intentionality when it comes to not only the feast, but also the imaging, the visuals, and even the styling, the wardrobe that we're seeing right now. So how would you describe this current era of Falz the Bahd Guy?
I would say this era is one that screams confidence. It's one that screams conviction. It's one that screams certainty. It's one of just utmost confidence in your own skin, in your own self, in your identity as a person, as an African, as a man, in clarity of purpose. That's what I would say. That's what I would say really clearly defines this phase.
Man, that's huge, man. That's deep.
Yeah,
that's a senseful, in a huge way. You said something, about this album. You said, the feast is everything that you've been cooking internally, emotionally, artistically, and spiritually. I want to tap into that, level of spirituality. For you, what would you say is the biggest, spiritual message coming out of this album?
Did I mention spirituality?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Spiritual, I'll just say, just aligning your spirit. To be honest, let me not say spiritual.
And I'm going somewhere with this because, you also said something about how love is, the only religion that you know, and fornication is not a sin.
Yeah, so that's why I was surprised that maybe I mentioned spiritual. I feel like, all this spiritual, I'm not denying the existence of all that stuff. But it's all a realm that it's not in the physical. It's not a realm that you can, grab hold of. So I don't like to focus too much, talk on that.
Okay.
But I'll say more, the message speaks to your essence, to your soul, to your mind, as a person. And I would say more primarily as a modern day African.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what the message was directed at.
Okay, let's go play a song right now. When we come back, we'll come back to this line of conversation because I want to know. Bibi and I had this. Bibi and I had this conversation live on air.
Yeah.
And finally, you're here in the studio with us. We want to know why Falz the Bahd Guy, says fornication for me is not a sin.
We're on City of Lasgiri, and yes, you are right where you need to be, which of course is right here with me, Bibi Ray and Real Skills, holding you down till 2 p.m. on the Max Hits. And right now, I've got a very special guest in the building. If you're just joining us, we've got the musician Falz in the building with us.
In the house, Lagos City. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And we're still talking about The Feast, the brand new album that he dropped. Make sure to go check it out on all streaming platforms right about now. So many incredible songs on there.
Yeah.
And that song that you just heard is one of them. That was, of course, called Jump. And right before that, you heard new music by Falz and King Maddie, one of my favorite songs.
Did you see that coming, by the way, BB? Like, did you see that sound, that shift, that sonic shift? Did you see that?
I didn't expect it. But you know what I've been saying, and I'm going to hold on to the fact that King Maddie is one to watch. Between this year and next year, I cannot wait to see what she's going to do with it. And I think sonically, what you and her did together on that track is just incredible.
Very intentional. Very. What we're trying to do with this project, and as you can tell from the sonics, is just go left. Music has been very much on the right for a while, and everybody has been following that direction.
When you say music has been on the right, what do you mean?
We can't deny the fact that the sound is getting a bit monotonous, repetitive and monotonous, redundant. It's becoming like that, and this is a ripe time to switch it up. More ripe than ever, also because there's so much attention on Afrobeats as a whole.
Absolutely.
And we can't appear to be one-dimensional. This sound was popping. No, I'm not gonna deny that. This sound is sweet too. I was on the bandwagon too. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. It's a sweet sound.
Exactly.
But let's leave it for now.
Yeah.
Let's leave it for now.
Let's grow.
Let's
evolve.
Let's show how dynamic we are as a people, because we're so much more than that.
For real.
There's so many different. I mean, we're coming from an era where clearly you could maybe spell out 4 or 5 different subgenres of Afrobeat.
Right.
Yeah, we need to get back to that.
And that's one of the things that you represent, and you've always represented. Showing the Nigerian mind and the African mind that we're so much more than what we think we are, and what has been sold to us. And that takes me back to a lot of people would think like this thing that I said you come back and break down for us that fornication is not it's not a sin. They would think it's just something on serious.
You thought we forgot,
but it's actually really something very essential. Because it is very essential, because you always one thing you've always done, Falz, is to expand the minds of people as well. So while we're having fun with the music, this album, I love this album, what you did. I said something when you came to the studio where enjoying the music is sweet music, but in between the music there are things that will still provoke you while you're vibing and enjoying it. So let's talk about this. Fornication is not.
Let's get back to square one.
How did you stay? I know that's what you have to do. Okay, so for me, like you said, there's always a message within the message, and for me, the message within the message is ask questions. Don't just take what you are given. Is fornication really a sin? Where in the Bible did it say it? The Bible makes mention of sexual immorality. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? It doesn't literally say fornication. It actually just says sexuality. But what does that mean to you? But even more than all this, to be honest, it's not really about fornication in particular. It's more like I said, we need to question stuff. And,
True.
religion is a thing that gives us all these numerous rules. And yes, they are important in some way to keep us grounded, to keep us on track, just in life in general, to give us morals. Yes, they are important, but just like any other set of rules, they aren't meant to be followed so blindly. There should be moments where you question stuff.
What?
Question stuff. I think we've been discouraged in the way that we've been raised.
Is this a Nigerian thing, do you
I
think?
think it's an African
It's an
thing.
African thing. I agree with
You
that.
know,
But I asked a question.
discouraged from being curious. We can hardly ask. If I were growing up, you could say, "Mommy, where is heaven?" I say, "Heaven is up." But mommy, the sky is up now. What do you mean? So we keep quiet and face up front.
Right.
But where is God? Shut up! Don't ask me that question.
Right.
Just follow. Just
And
follow. what
I
you're
have a
doing.
question for you, Falz. Who did it when Moses come down from the mountain, and brought the tablets? Who was there when he received it? He just came and said, "I received it," and that really points to the point. What you said. That ask questions not
Right.
just from the
My
book,
brother, even
but-
Moses.
No, but
Moses
ask
as
from
a-
the spirit.
Moses as a
From the-
character. Moses is a character.
Yeah.
The Bible is a story. But we're going to another realm now that people will now start getting
We're
offended.
going into another
Don't say this.
level.
Hey, you're really- but really and truly, we need to have these conversations.
We
Word.
do. We
Because
need
these
to
conversations will then help us to realize the importance of asking questions, being curious. Where are we coming from? What were my ancestors doing? Is this what they were doing? No. So at what point did I start doing this? And why? Simple. If you can find an answer that still justifies where you're going, then continue going there by all means.
But if you can't, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's all we want to
That's
say.
all. That's all.
We've still got more with Falz the Bahd Guy in the building, but it's time to let the music speak for the man, okay? We've got Falz teaming up with Dotty the Daisy.
Ooh, this is a jam.
I love this
This
jam.
is a sweet jam as
Something
well.
grown and sexy, you know? Yeah.
I think the album should have been titled "The Sweet Feast"
Sweet feast.
because it's too sweet, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Falz the Bahd Guy right there with Dotty the Deity on that one for mommy. And of course, I said it a while ago, the fist, it's such a sweet fist. And, we got to say big ups to you for, this album, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But let's get back into the conversation there. Tons of stuff we still want to touch on. Time is never really our friend. You got like a billion plus one things that you want to talk about, but time is like, okay, calm down. So let's try and dig in as much as we can. Yes.
Absolutely. Your birthday, I don't know if you remember this. Your birthday last year, not the 2023. It was the 33rd birthday. It was your Jesus year. Remember you gave a toast.
That is right.
Do you remember your toast?
I mean, I don't remember the toast, but
You said a couple of things.
okay.
Lucky for you, I remember.
Okay.
Because I was there.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I remember.
you spoke about the significance of turning 33 to you, and you believing that 33 was your number, and it was the year that you were going to transform, grow, and whatnot. Now, I decided to look into the year of 33 and the significance of it, and apparently the Jesus year, there's different themes, common themes under it. Number one is letting go of what's no longer serving you. So obviously you're now 34, you've turned a year older. What do you feel like you have let go of that was no longer serving you? Stepping into this new era, this new age, this new phase in your life.
That's a crazy question.
I have a couple more. They get crazier. We may not have time. That's the only problem. But yeah.
Just to avoid sitting down here and just racking my brain and thinking, I'll just give a slightly more simplistic answer.
Okay.
I'd say people that I felt like weren't really
Aligned.
Aligned. Weren't really on the same wavelength in terms of where I'm going. I've had to let go of them. I've had to let go of qualities that I also feel like, maybe might hold me back, in terms of where I'm going.
One of such qualities.
One of such qualities, I would say, overthinking. Overthinking. Let me just leave that overthinking. You get times where you don't do something. Say you're mad. But you could over reason and say, God, leave am, make it go. Just leave am.
Believe.
Just believe. It's popular with creatives too.
Yeah, true that.
You make something, it's brilliant, but you get to moments of where you start to redoubt and rethink and man, I've thrown that in the bush. I've thrown that in the bush, because there's so much more that I've always wanted to do, but because of those moments of overreasoning, overthinking, you know, yeah, man. So that's another thing I've thrown in the bushes.
I love that so much. And another one is, of course, committing to deeper values or beliefs. I think we spoke on that, or we touched on that briefly, you know, where you said, obviously, that you believe in love, that you're not necessarily...
Even though he has never told any girl, I love you.
So love as a...
Romantic love, like.
that one is romantic love. That one is now...
But what's holding you back from the romantic love, though?
Let's
get into it. I want to know. I want to know. What's holding you back? Are you scared?
Nothing in particular.
You know that question that
Are
you
you,
just...
like-
wait. That question you just asked.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was going to ask him the same question.
scared?
So I'm going to stay with you on that question. Are you
Yeah,
scared? Are you scared of
like
heartbreak?
concerned? Maybe not
You
scared.
know,
Scared is such a, like,
If
you know,
yes
say,
or
man.
no, why are you scared and why are you not scared?
I think I've just been running away from commitment. Just feeling like maybe it's heavy, you know. But it's also another thing. I'm probably overthinking it too. Like I said, I didn't overthink. I didn't overthink going along.
So you might, now that you've moved away from that era of overthinking, are you saying that you might just tell the girl tomorrow, I love you?
100%. I'm ready for it now.
I'm ready to hear it now.
I'm ready now.
I'm ready to hear it now.
I love you, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm happy now.
You're happy now? Okay.
I'm happy now.
But, you know, back into it though, like, you know, we're talking about all of this stuff, you know, that is, you know, embedded within your personality, you know, your experiences, your journey, your evolution. You know, we're getting that off the album as well. And, you know, one of the things that I also know about you, you know, is the fact that we spoke about one thing that, you know, BB said, you know, he said, you let go, you learned something huge for yourself, like, and you shared like one of those things is overthinking. Now let's get back to the people, right? What is that one culture that you feel like the people, the Nigerian people, need to let go of? Like it's high time they let go of that.
There's plenty of...
Let's tap into
Give us like
top
three.
three.
Yeah.
Top three.
I would say hypocrisy.
But we're all hypocrites, man.
Hypocrisy. We need to be more genuine. Just be who we are. If you know that you're a dark-minded, evil monster,
Embrace it.
own it. Wear it as a badge. Let's know that, okay, rascality is your name. Are you getting me? But don't say that you are this, but you are really not, my bro. What are you saying? What are you doing? You know, hypocrisy, I would say one thing. An individualistic mindset. Say, oh, nah, I beg me, as long as me and my family were okay, I beg, I know send what they happen for there. I beg.
Because that also manifests itself with greed.
Yep. Of course, largely.
'Cause if you're thinking about
that is
yourself,
the main P. If you really did care about the remaining 199 million people, then he wouldn't be doing what he's doing, that man. You know, whoever that is. If he really thought about the communal, he would be better at managing these resources. He wouldn't be so wasteful. You know, he wouldn't be setting only himself and his family up. Yeah. So those are two major ones I can remember now. If I think of any other one, I will.
Okay, all right.
Come back and let us know. Come back and let us know for real. I mean, yeah, it's been a very enlightening conversation,
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
We honestly could sit down and talk with you literally all day.
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
But unfortunately, time doesn't permit.
Thus far, you know, BB, which song is actually magnetizing and living rent free in your head from that album?
The song with King Maddie, for me.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the number one right now. But it changes between that one and second to Wayo.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, like Wayo. I like Wayo.
Wayo is it's a song that feels so much energy.
Energy. There's like I can feel it. I feel the energy.
Wonderfully made for me, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I like Wonderful.
I love Famomi, and I love Storytime. I love what you said in Storytime. You know, it was like, you know, you said everything from the beginning till now of, you know, Falz the Bahd Guy, and I love that, you know, big time. And you know, just to cap it up, really, the album is out everywhere right now. You know,
Yes,
on
sir.
every DSPs, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, everywhere that you get music. But one question to wrap it up: are we gonna get? Because this album is too beautiful for us not to have a live, you know, Falz live experience. Please tell me. I agree with the year 2025. You know, we're getting something like that.
I'm gonna tell you that the year 2025,
Period.
I will make sure that we get that.
Man, let's go.
I will make sure.
Let's go. Let's go. Like
I cannot give you the date
drops
now.
mic.
It's okay.
But I
don't
will
worry.
make sure that we get that.
What else are we dropping? Drop mic, drop laptop, drop phone, drop car keys.
everything.
Don't drop the
plates.
feast though.
Don't
Don't you dare drop the
I
feast.
love that. I love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been Falz in the building. Just like Skill said, make sure to head on over to all the major streaming platforms to check out the brand new album that just dropped. It's called The Feast. And feast you will, because it is an incredible body of work. 12 tracks of just awesomeness. So make sure to go cop that. All new music from Falz is called No Less, coming through right here, right now. Thank
We
you for
love
coming
you.
through,
We're gonna see
Falz.
you tomorrow. Yes, we're out of here as well.
Yeah, we are out of here.
We're out of here. We're following Falz.
Yeah.
It's taking us to the feast.
Yeah, let's go.
To the
Let's
feast.
go.